I'm live. Hello, folks. Another one of these random live streams. Yeah, I know I did one last night, but I'm doing one right now because I was planning on doing one on this weekend. It's a long weekend here, and apparently, it's looking like it is. Hey, weather follower. It's looking like some rain here in the North Pacific. So if it does rain, we can't do any live streaming outside, and I really don't like doing live streaming inside, unless, of course, it's winter. And anyway, it's a beautiful day here on Salt Spring Island. Currently 16.7 degrees Celsius, shade temp, and 60% humidity. I can see some clouds coming in from the west, coming in off the ocean. So maybe when we wake up in the morning, there'll be some rain, but that's okay. They tell people not to travel to these islands right now, and apparently there's a lot of tourists in our town. That's what one of the guys I work with said. Just before the end of the day, got back from town and he saw a lot of tourists in town, and that's not a good thing. So, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go to the post office first thing because, as you know, I mail a lot of seeds away and a lot of palm seedlings. So I have a package. That's 1,000 seeds right there. That's what a thousand seeds. It's actually 1,000 plus seeds. He ordered 1,000 seeds, but there's probably about 1,100 seeds in there. So that I have to mail tomorrow. Goes back east somewhere. Anyway, hope you're all having a good Friday. It is the start of our long weekend here in Canada, and I do get Monday off, which is really good. And if it does rain, like I say, I won't have to water the garden, and it'll be good for everything around here. We do need the rain because it does get pretty dry here on Salt Spring Island. And do you know the outer islands are even drier than Salt Spring Island? We average here about 30 to 35 inches of precipitation per year on Salt Spring Island, give or take, depending on location. Hey, I see somebody else in there, Hubie. How are you doing, buddy? So give or take a little bit, depending on location here, because Salt Spring Island is 16.7 miles in length, and topography plays a big role in the climate here of our island. And like I've told you guys before, we have 3 growing zones: Zone 8A, Zone 8B, and Zone 9A. And just because it's raining in one area doesn't mean it's raining all over the island. So as you get into the outer islands, we have islands to the east of us, Southern Gulf Islands. We have Galliano, which is right across from us. There's another island in between called Wallis Island. Hey, John, let me just see here. Your palm videos inspired me to get my own. Well, you're a good man. Palms are good. Much better than planting some crappy old ugly deciduous tree that looks dead in the wintertime. No offense to you people that love deciduous trees. And I know there are some nice deciduous trees, but that's the thing with a deciduous tree. And yeah, Albizia julibrizin and Magnolia macrophylla are absolutely awesome when they have their foliage on them and flowers. But in the wintertime, they look like dead sticks to me. And when I see a dead stick, I just want to fire up my Husqvarna chainsaw and knock that sucker down and dig it up and put a palm tree in. Hubie, I go to sleep because it's Poland. That's right, too. You guys are 9 hours ahead of us. It is 5:16 p.m. Pacific time, IGD Gardens. Right on. Good to see you in there, buddy. It is 5:16 p.m. Pacific time here, and just under 17 degrees Celsius in the shade. Very comfortable out here with 60% humidity. And just an absolutely beautiful day. I was very busy in the parks today. At this time of the year, it's just crazy. The grass is growing, so it needs mowing. And we look after a lot of parks here. There are 61 parks on Salt Spring Island, and those aren't the provincial ones. Those are the capital regional district parks that I work for. And then there's about, I think, 4 or 5 provincial parks, and they just opened those up yesterday. Yubi, take care, buddy. And it's good to see you guys in there. If I'm doing too many live streams for you guys, you let me know, and then we'll cut her back a notch. We won't do so many live streams, but they are kind of fun because you are my friends. And I don't really have any palm friends around me here. You know what I mean? So it's good to see you guys in there. This brings the world closer together, this internet. And it's really good to see you guys posting in there. GD Gardens, weird question, but have you ever had what does that say? Had straight line winds? No. No, we don't get a lot of, well, you know what? We can get wind here, but it's usually in the warmer months. So in the wintertime, we don't get any cold wind here. We don't get any strong winds here in the winter. And that's what enables us to grow a lot of BLEs to maximum size. And when I'm talking BLEs, broadleaf evergreen, I'm talking eucalyptus trees that are 100 feet tall. Try growing those on the mainland. I can tell you right now, Eucalyptus dellerium plana that I grew from seed in 1992, and they're 100 feet tall in our garden there. In 2008, any dellerium plana in Vancouver was frozen dead, and these were not damaged here at this location. So yeah, we can get some wind, and there are some strong winds here occasionally. December 2018, we had hurricane force winds here. Some people actually thought it was a twister, the way it kind of went through certain areas of the island and just destroyed everything in its path. And it missed us here on the north end, thank God. But it carved a narrow swath through a large area of the island, and some of the roads were impassable because it actually snapped power poles in half and broke a lot of trees. Power was out here for 4 days. Some people here had power out for over 2 weeks. And I was actually stranded at my parks office for just about 4 hours because all the roads were blocked with trees. It was insane. And I do have videos of it here. And Wendy has videos of it too. I shot videos of the hurricane force storm that ripped through our island. And we were hit hard. It was December, I think it was December 20th or 21st, 2018. Good thing it wasn't cold out. Temperatures were okay. They were probably about 8 degrees Celsius, so about 46 degrees Fahrenheit, and maybe even a bit milder. And the winds came in from the southwest and ripped a path of destruction wherever they went. I saw a lot of trees on people's houses and crushed cars, but thank God nobody died. Who do we have here? John. Oh, no wonder I can't see. I got my sunglasses on. There we go. John, or it's I now have windmill palms and pindo palms. I need to start videos on them. I want to get sable palmetto, but not sure if they will grow well. They'll grow in Lawrenceville, Georgia. You plant some of those palmettos down there, for God's sake. Palmettos are native to the southeastern United States. So what you got to do is get a hardier ecotype, get them from their northernmost range, and they will probably do good in Lawrenceville. I don't know the growing zone in Lawrenceville, and I really don't know how far you are from Macon or Atlanta, Georgia. But look at your minimum temperatures and try to pick a palmetto from somewhere, maybe say in North Carolina at their northern range, and it should probably do okay there. Palmettos are very hardy palms, and they do a lot better down there than they grow here. So they're hardy enough to grow here, but the problem is we're lacking that intense summer heat that you guys have that put on the growth. John, 7B. Well, a 7B in the southern states is probably like a 8, like maybe an 8B up this way. So I would definitely a palmetto in 7B in a sheltered location. GD Gardens, I've been to WW. I've been WW. Oh, watering my windmill palms. They grow every day and they grow slow. Windmill palms, when they're very young, they grow at a slower rate. And once they start to develop a little bit of a trunk, and I find they grow faster. But anyway, once they develop a little bit of a trunk, like something like this, about 6 inches, then they really speed up in growth. So growth for a Trachycarpus fortuna here on Salt Spring Island is up to 1.5 foot of trunk per year. That is if the palm is looked after well. So extremely good soil, rich, well-draining soil. They like acidic soil and lots of ample summer irrigation. You pour the H2O to those things and they grow really fast here. So you've seen some of my videos. I sold a guy a seedling in 2001 and it is about 30 feet tall now, okay? And that's no lie. He's got a 3-story house and is taller than his 3-story house. Layla. Hey, how you doing, Layla? The last hurricane, Michael, through Panama City, Mexico Beach, just straight, woo, 120 Ks. Okay, so the winds that whipped through here were clocked at 145 Ks or so. So you can figure that out. 100 K is 60 miles an hour. So there were pretty strong winds. The gusts were the strongest, not just steady wind. They were the gusts that were clocked at 145 and a bit higher. And I've never seen so much destruction. So the last typhoon to hit our coast was Typhoon Frida in October 1962. There was about 8 deaths. And Mom and Dad used to tell me about that one when I was a kid. I wasn't even born yet. I didn't come around until 64. It ripped part of the roof off their house. And you can actually Google that, the Columbus Day storm, because it came in really strong in the southern Oregon coast, up the coast, Washington, and it slammed into Vancouver and Victoria. Really, really nasty storm. So that was called Typhoon Frida in 1962. Palm Tree Dude, hello. Hey, you guys want to know what 1,000 palm seeds look like? 1,000 plus palm seeds, and they can fit into that envelope right there. So that is 1,000 Trachycarpus tunae palm seeds. These ones I'm going to mail off tomorrow. This was an order I just picked up today. So anyway, they fit into an envelope like that. So sometimes people think 1,000 palm seeds is way more than that, but that's 1,000 plus palm seeds right there. And the rest of them are in this bucket here. You see, there's a lot of palm seeds in here. And what I'm going to do with those, folks, I'm going to throw them over the sun deck like that. So when I throw palm seeds over the sun deck, they just grow, right? That's why there's so many palm trees growing around here. Tennessee palms in 1998, a high-end F4 tornado rampaged my area. F4 is so nasty. I think an F5 is the worst, and that's where the one that starts ripping tarmac off the frickin' roadways. That is nasty. That would be scary, like a big frickin' blender cruising through and just ripping everything up in his path. So your house might be ripped apart and your neighbors might be okay. Wouldn't that be freaky? Your house is gone and you got your neighbor out there watering his garden. Palm Tree Dude, Layla. Let's see who else is in there. Palm Tree Dude, there might be a tropical depression off the coast of southeast in a day or two. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's a mellow tropical depression. Well, weather follower, how is your Washingtonian fliffer? Has it recovered from? Yes. Yeah, it's looking okay. The Washingtonian fliffer is coming nicely. Dylan Kelly, can trackies survive hurricanes? I don't know. I mean, can they survive a hurricane? I don't know if there's a lot of trackies in Florida, maybe in northern Florida, but I'm going to say yes. A Trachycarpus fortunei could probably survive a hurricane, as most palms can. Sometimes the crowns get ripped off, and the ones that don't get ripped off obviously survive. And the nice thing about palms, they got millions of tiny little roots that hold them into place, right? So you get an oak tree, that's probably going to get uprooted in a hurricane, and you get a coconut palm, and it's probably going to survive. It might lose a few fronds, but a windmill palm, yeah, I would say it'd probably survive a hurricane, but that just depends how strong, how fierce, and how long the hurricane lasts. Palm Tree Dude, 2003 hurricane, can't remember the name off my Virginia, North Carolina. Hurricane Hugo hit the coast of North Carolina and South Carolina. I don't, that might have been in the 90s though. Zach, Tennessee palms, but when F4 wedge comes, everything in its path is trouble. No chance survival above ground. That's why you guys in the deep south have these little shelters, I think you go into, right? You lift up a lid and you go in there and then you hear the big thing going over top. But the worst thing would be if you're in that shelter, you close the lid and then a big semi-trailer truck came and landed on that lid. That would suck. I don't know if that could happen, but I mean, they do lift up big things, right? And toss them around. GD Gardens, can you plant sago cycads on Salt Spring? Yeah, nobody really grows them here. I grow them. We have them in our garden. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 in our garden, and then we have 3 in pots. So you've probably seen the videos I have on them. The ones I have in pots in front of Magnolia Petal B&B have been out there for quite a few years. And the only protection I give them because they're in pots is just wrap the terracotta pot with bubble wrap and good to go. I have 2 Cycas revoluta in the ground. I have another one in a pot that stays outside beside the gallery. I was trying to live stream over there, but the connection was no good. I was trying to do this live stream for another section of our garden, but no show. And we do have Cycas patuensis. I think that's how you pronounce it, growing in the garden, and it's also fine. It's a hardier one. Tennessee palms. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that, and I see a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of people in there. That is good. Let's just see Tennessee palms. If that happens, and similar stuff has happened before, the fire department will find us shelter and they cool, and they'll cut their way and rescue. That is awesome. Thank you, fire department. I'm sure they've rescued a few people from shelters. Palm Tree Dude, live oaks can handle a good amount of wind. We have some small live oaks in our garden, but there's some big ones on our island. A lot of people do grow southern live oaks here, and especially the California live oak, the Canyon live oak. There's a lot of those here as well. And I planted one by the cinema in 1997, 98, and it is a big tree now. I see it every day when I'm at work. And I'll tell you how that started. So it was in the late 90s. I planted a Trachycarpus fortunei beside Central Hall, which is our cinema. There was 2 magnolias already growing there, and there's a big ceanothus tree and an escallonia and a bunch of other crap. And I don't palm tree. I bought the palm tree. I didn't grow it from seed. It was a 5-gallon one, a small 5-gallon one. In that 5-gallon palm tree pot, there was a small California live oak. It self-seeded in there from a nursery in California because it was an import. I left it. I didn't pull it out. I don't have the heart to pull out any exotic plant. The live oak has a trunk on it about this big, and the palm tree is growing under the live oak right now. So stay tuned for another video, but I do have videos of it. Are eucalyptus wind hardy? I would say yes, but depends on how cold the wind is. So they don't like drying, cold, the desiccating cold winds. They can't stand it. And we don't get those here. But if you have cold, drying winds, they hate it. If you have winds that aren't so cold, they can handle it. Layla Riley, hurricane start June 1st. Whoa, Cat 5 storm can hit your house close to. Ooh, that's not good, man. 160 mile an hour. That's scary. I wouldn't like that. Tennessee, palm trees are extremely wind hardy from what I have seen. Back in northern Illinois, 60-mile winds, same amount of damage. Wow. So they get acclimatized to it, I guess, the winds. Well, you know, it's interesting. When you go to the far west coast, that's where all the people surf here in our province. So if you go to Tofino and all up the west coast, so if you look where Victoria is on the map and then go up the west coast of Vancouver Island, that's surf country up there. So the people surf year round, and there's prevailing westerly winds, and the trees are actually bent from the winds. They can get a lot of wind over there and a lot of rain too. They get about 12 feet of rain a year. And I was planning on going there for my birthday, but unfortunately that got canceled thanks to the pandemic. GD Gardens. I don't know if I asked this, but do you have any Sereno repens in your garden? No, but they'll grow here. I know they'll grow here, but they don't sell them here on Salt Spring. I've seen them at nurseries on the mainland in the past. I tried one once in my Zone 8A, 8B garden, and it actually died the first winter. I imported Jubea, Chamaedorea radicalis, Nanoropes ricciana, and Sereno repens from a nursery in California. I got it through the Palm Society. And I planted them all out. The Jubea, no, actually, I didn't plant the Jubea out. I kept it in a pot and I brought it into a cool area that didn't freeze for the winter. But the other palms I planted out and they all froze the first winter. That was in the late 1980s. And Sereno repens, I think, would do just fine here in a nice hot spot like a palmetto. Okay, what else do we have here? Layla Riley, I have a question. Fox blocks, home survive. I have a question. Fox blocks, home survive in a hurricane. Cat 5 storm without storm surge water get in the house. What? Really? That's right close to the beach. I don't know, man. It would freak me out being in a place that's prone to hurricanes and having your house built right on the frickin' sand like those people do in South Carolina, Florida, and North Carolina. And you know what I think I would do? I would definitely try to hurricane proof my house, but storm surge of water. I mean, maybe you could hurricane proof it from the wind, but the water surges. I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could hurricane proof it from the big storm surge of water. That'd probably take your house away before the wind did. Let's see, palm tree dude. I just recorded a video of my palmetto seedlings from Virginia Beach. Ah, cool. The video I show a picture of palm I got from, and you'll see how tattered is. Interesting. Virginia Beach can get very windy. And I do actually have palms here from Virginia Beach. I have Trachycarpus palms and I have sable palms, and they are growing in our garden. Sable minor palms. Winds reach 200 Ks in Cork. Whoa, that's in Ireland. That is strong. Those winds, man. My house would be gone at 200 Ks. Dylan, ever since Hurricane Ophelia hit Ireland, I haven't seen many trackies. Is that right? Because I know there's a lot of palms in Ireland. I had a good friend. I don't think she's with us anymore, Mrs. Livingston. When I used to see Mrs. Livingston, I presume. She is very Irish. And she lived here on Salt Spring for a long time. And I haven't seen her for a long time. She's quite old way back then. So I'm presuming she's pushing up the daisies or the palm trees. And, whenever she'd go to Ireland, she'd come back and she'd say, Joe, do you know how many palm trees are in Ireland? And I said, no, tell me how many palm trees are in Ireland, Mrs. Livingston. She says, there are thousands of palm trees in Ireland. And so she showed me some pictures, and you know what they were? They were cordylines. And I know there's Trachycarpus palms, and there's Chamaerops, and there's date palms there too. But there's lots of cordylines in Ireland. A very mild and balmy, palmy climate there in the Emerald Isle. Tennessee palms. My dad looked at my seedling collection. What are you going to do with all these palms? I told them. Control. You could have Zach's palm nursery in the volunteer state. That's what you could do. Um, we cleaned out an area down the side slope there, and you've probably seen some of my videos of me bucking up, cutting some trees down there. So I spread thousands of trachea seeds on this foresty loam slope as erosion control. So none of them are germinated yet, but in the fall when we get the rains, that's when the palms start to germinate here. So they'll sit there all summer, and in the fall you'll go down there and you'll see seedlings coming up everywhere. Hey, Bud Martin, how you doing, Martin? Good to see you in there. Good to see everybody in there. I hope everybody's having a good day. And like I say, it is a long weekend for me now here on Salt Spring Island. You know why I like long weekends? Because Monday I get off, and I don't like working Mondays. Mondays suck. I think Mondays they should do away with at work. I'd be much happier if it was a 4-day work week. Monday off and work Tuesday to Friday. But you know what? I do enjoy my job. Today I mowed the sports fields and did a lot more mowing, and I sit on that John Deere tractor and I mow out there for hours, and it's very relaxing. Layla, I have a question. Let's just see. Okay, we already read that one. 200 miles an hour, like I say, our house would probably be gone, and the foundation would be left, and most of our garden would probably be gone. I'm sure the eucalyptus trees would be gone too. After those 145K winds from the hurricane we had just before Christmas in 2018, I saw a lot of trees down. I've never seen so much damage in my life. Like I say, there was power poles down, trees snapped in half. I'm talking monster Dougie firs, 5 feet up from the base, snapped right off. Crazy. It's just, I'm just surprised that nobody got injured or killed. Tennessee palms. Any recommendations how to transport palms from you to my house? I actually plan on visiting right on in the next 5 years. You'd have to get a phytosanitary certificate. So I could ship palms there. I can ship seedlings. I've shipped lots of seeds and seedlings to Tennessee. That's not a problem. They're bare root. Bigger ones, anything with soil in them, you're going to need to get them inspected by Agriculture Canada, Plant Inspection Agency. There's none here on our small island. You would have to go to Vancouver or Victoria. They check them out for nematodes or whatever and bad stuff, give you a phytosanitary certificate, which is about $25 or so. And then you present that to the people at the border. And when they see that, they say you're clear to go and you can take your palms home and plant them in the volunteer state. Martin, in the Netherlands, it's getting warmer. Hey, who's this beautiful girl behind me? Say hi. That's Wendy's daughter.
Hi.
You like palms too, don't you?
I love nature.
She likes nature. I gotta love her. She's an awesome gal. And we gotta plant those tomatoes.
Got tomatoes.
She got us started doing a garden. We did a garden down below, and if it wasn't for Krista, we would not have a garden.
So I had a dream.
She had a dream.
Like, we need to plant a garden.
Yeah, so we did it. We actually did it, and within a couple of days, we cleared out this area, and you've probably seen videos of it. So she inspired us to do the garden, and yeah, there was a lot of grunt work involved, and we deer fenced it, and she the living bejesus out of it. You should see it. You've harvested, haven't you?
We did it all together.
Did you harvest some stuff? You harvested lettuce. She's harvested lettuce.
Lettuce and chard and kale. And then we've got our chives and cilantro.
Potatoes. There's potatoes in there. And
right now you can go and pick greens like every day. Just pick greens for your salad.
That's right. We had squash. We had what did we have? Chard last night in the what was in a stir fry. She steamed the chard. Oh, it was good.
It's very satisfying.
It's very satisfying. And we have a lot of tomatoes we got to plant. And we planted the squash. We have a fig growing in there. You planted onions too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Onions.
Walla Walla onions.
Walla Walla. Do you know where Walla Walla is? Walla Walla is in Washington. Walla Walla onions are the best. See you, Krista. Krista's awesome. And so do you grow any chilies? Hey, do you grow any chilies? No chilies? Not yet. Krista says not yet. We're going to grow some chilies. I've never seen a Trachycarpus or cordyline blow over in the wind. Have you? No, I have never seen no weather faller. I have not. Hola, Martin. It's getting warmer. Finally, the freeze from yesterday was so strange. Yeah. Well, you know what? In Ontario, last week they had snow. And I even think parts in the northeastern U.S. had some flurries and frost. So I'll tell you something. There's some cold areas on Salt Spring Island, and I have actually seen frost in May. And it was late September. I believe it was late September. Was it late September or early October? I've seen frost too in those same places. So So no chilies yet, palm tree dude. But Krista says we're going to grow some. So that's Wendy's daughter. When you speak of tomatoes, you make it sound. No, well, we do have. We do actually have cannabis too. But we do actually. You know what? I'm going to grab a tomato, dudes. Right here. I'll show you. I'm not BSing you. We have a whole flat of tomatoes. You see. So there's a tomato right there, and this one is called ultra sweet tomato. And you know what? When you're planting tomatoes, I'll give you a because a tomato is an exotic plant. And even though they do self seed here, you can throw them in the compost tomatoes and they'll grow in there and they'll come up the next year. Plant them deeper. So you can rip off these bottom leaves and then plant them deeper, the tomatoes, and they'll get a little bit more sturdy and they'll root out better. So that's just a little tip for tomato planting. Tomatoes don't like a lot of rain on them and they also like a lot of sun. Palm tree dude, every summer I grow cayennes and habaneros along with some Carolina Reapers. Oh, dude, there's videos of people eating Carolina Reapers. I would never, ever eat a Carolina Reaper. I have some hot sauce called Dave's Insanity, and you put one drop on your tongue, and it's probably, well, maybe not quite as bad as a Carolina Reaper, but it's too hot for me. Let's just see. And then get addicted to eating them. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What are you, Mexican? Dude, that is hot. A Carolina Reaper. Watch the videos on people eating Carolina Reapers, and they are in pain. In pain. And if you drink water to get the heat away, I think it just washes that burn right down your throat. No, not for me. Wendy, are you there? Wendy's there. Would you eat a Carolina Reaper? Could I shoot a video of you eating a Carolina Reaper pepper? She says, I don't think so. Well, you're a poor sport. That's no good. That would make a good video, and it might even go viral of Wendy. Come and show him your shirt.
Oh, my daughter bought
Wendy's addicted to Friends.
I love Friends.
She watches Friends every night, and she's in season.
Be there for you.
Yeah, so what season are you in now? 6?
Yeah, 6.
There's 10 seasons. Friends ran from 1994 to 2004. So she's
I love that show.
Yeah, so
I just decided I wanted to watch.
I like Married with Children.
Very light and cheerful.
Yes.
And it takes me back to.
Takes her back to the 90s.
When.
I like the late 80s when I had big hair.
I know what it is, Friends.
When I was rocking out to Poison and Motley Crue. And I'm still rocking out to Poison and Motley Crue with no hair. Not Mexican. Anyone can get used to them. You simply slowly eat them more. No, palm tree dude. You must have a stomach made of steel or cast iron. I couldn't do that. Layla Riley, I've seen a house on YouTube, F5, turn hits a house, 300, and that's the wins. What? I got to watch that. That's crazy. 318 miles an hour. So think of a twister at 308. It's like flipping on your blender. Of course, that's a lot faster. But I hear in a twister, there's a lot of stuff in the twister, like 2x4s, and there's cars floating around in there, maybe the odd cow and chicken. So it's like a big grinder. And I couldn't even imagine getting sucked up into one of those things, man. You'd be like pulverized. Martin, gonna go to a tropical nursery this weekend, probably gonna leave with more than I ordered. Isn't that the way it always is? So when we go to Fraser's Thimble Farm Nursery, it's like a 1-minute drive from here. We intend on getting one plant, and then we come out with a whole mess of plants. Plants we really don't need. And Wendy's really bad like that. And I usually come out with something too, something very exotic. Dylan Kelly, do Ireland get tornadoes? I don't think Ireland gets tornadoes. I think hurricane force winds, but I doubt they get tornadoes. I don't think Ireland's very flat, is it? Usually if your topography is like ours, you're not going to see tornadoes. We have a lot of mountains here, but you can get some fierce windstorms every so often that come in off the ocean. And what we get here a lot in the wintertime is something called Pineapple Express, and I have videos of it. And what it is, it's a weather pattern that nails us straight from the Hawaiian Islands. So the Central Pacific is southwest of us, and these weather patterns come straight at us, and it brings really mild temperatures, but a ton of rain, a deluge of rain. So in one night you can get like 3 inches of rain, which is a lot of rain for us. And I know in some places in the tropics can probably get 10 inches of rain in one night. But 3 inches of rain overnight would be a lot of rain for us here on Salt Spring Island. Thank God we live up high and dry. And even after a rainstorm, you know what? You don't even barely find a puddle in our property. It's so fast raining. It's like a sieve. We live on rock. Tennessee Palm, Zach, for tornadoes to be common, you need a subtropical climate like Tennessee is the capital of nighttime tornadoes. Yeah, and I think also Kansas and Oklahoma is really bad too for tornadoes. And Ontario gets tornadoes, and they actually get some really nasty ones in Edmonton, believe it or not, Alberta. There was a really, really bad one that ripped through a trailer park. I don't know why they always go for trailer parks, right? So you got a tornado, and the Mr. Tornado's cruising along happily, and he sees a subdivision of nice houses, but then he sees a trailer park off to the right, and he just kind of veers over and goes to the trailer park. I don't know if it's some magnetic field that attracts him, but anyway, a trailer park got hit in Edmonton. It was near Edmonton, and a bunch of people died. It was a really bad tornado. So Edmonton is really flat, and they do get tornadoes. In Ontario, I think even Montreal can get tornadoes. I don't think we've ever had any tornadoes here, but the one that I'm talking about in December 2018, I was talking to one guy, and he says, I think, Joe, that was more like a tornado, the way it had a narrow swath of destruction. We can easily get 12 inches of rain in one day. Oh, my God. That's nearly half of our annual rainfall. Okay, so we're 30 to 35 inches. Okay, last year we had 28 inches of rain here on Salt Spring Island for the whole year. And most of our rain falls in the winter months. It starts coming in November and it goes to end of January. February can be actually quite dry. So we get a lot of rain in just a few months. And then the spring and summer and fall, most of fall is pretty dry. Late fall become pretty wet. So yeah, it's all good. Tornadoes would kind of freak me out. It is breezy here right now. If I can show you up to the trees, you see them swing up there a little bit. They're moving a little bit, not too much. I can see there's 200-foot trees around me here. There's some really big Douglas fir trees, and they are blowing at the tops. Where we're located here at this particular spot in Salt Spring Island, there's a ridge behind us, and then it goes down to the ocean, and we're in a bit of a knoll. So the wind comes up and over top of us. So it can be really, really windy, and the wind goes up over top of us. You can see the trees moving, but nothing will be moving down here. There's somebody behind me. Who is that? It's Krista.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Cilantro.
Oh, and look what she picked out of the garden, folks. Look, oh, geez, I was going to fool you. And look at it. And it was already cut for her, too. And she picked is that an elephant garlic? That's a big garlic. Look at the size of this thing. That is freaking huge.
Yeah.
That is a massive. What are you making?
Pizza.
This chick's a good cook. She cooks some good stuff. Whenever she cooks stuff, I feel really healthy.
Yeah.
She doesn't cook junk food. That's why she's healthy.
Yeah.
That's why she looks the way she does. She's healthy. She could cook some good stuff. Palm tree dude, any swamps? Any swamps here? Yes, we have swamps here. I have videos of swamp, but we call them beaver swamps. There's beavers in our swamps. And in one of our parks called Dunbabin Park, we're constantly opening up the beaver dam and putting, we had to put 2 Clemson pond levelers in it because we have a bridge in this park. And what happens when he dams it up, the bridge starts to float. And I think there's more than one beaver in there. I think there's like a whole family or an army of beavers. And we rip a hole in the dam. And the next morning, I swear to God, that dam is totally fixed up even better than we ripped it apart. So what we did, we put 2 Clemson pond levelers in there, which is a pipe that goes through the dam so the water pours out. But you know what? That beaver is so smart, the beavers, they've managed to plug up the Clemson pond leveler. So anyway, it looks like connection is unstable. Hopefully it'll come back on. Oh, there we go. I was going to say bad connection. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes the connections kind of fades out a little bit here. Maybe it's just my location on the sun deck. I see all bars on the internet though, so that's a good thing. The router is quite a ways away from here, but we do have a booster in the kitchen here. So anyway, yeah, there are some swamps here and there are beavers in those swamps. Jacob Tyler, good day, banana. JSSI, good day. Bananas are growing like crazy. You know what? I need to do a video on our bananas. That's what I'll do. I think tomorrow I'll do a video on the bananas. You see the latest video I just uploaded when I got home from work? It's our Indian mallow, a flowering maple in bloom in our garden. So that is a butylon, native to the tropics and subtropics. And it is an evergreen plant, and it's got absolutely beautiful flowers on it. So check out that video. Layla, Riley, last December, 24 degrees, and we had a frost. And frostbite had 24 degrees. Are you in Florida? Because that is freaking cold for Florida, man. And 24 degrees is even cold for here, too. What?
You have to verify the TELUS for the technician.
Okay, hang on, guys. I have to do a verification on the phone. Hello, Banana Joe.
Hi, Joe. I just want to verify the account quickly. I know you're busy. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Don't give your information
can you remember the PIN number of the account?
You don't remember.
I don't remember it. Honestly, I don't. But this is Joe, honestly. I'm not lying to you.
You can ask me security.
Yeah, how about your email address, Joe?
BananaJoe@telus.net.
Okay, and your contact number?
You want my phone number?
The contact number that you gave to us for the account.
My phone number, 250-537-9516.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. I can speak back to Wendy now. Thank you.
Okay.
Joe.
All right. Take care. Aloha. Cheers. Well, how about that? We're getting our internet upgraded. So that was the internet lady. So hopefully when I do live streams, when it's upgraded, I can go to different parts of the garden and I can bring my computer there and I will still get a full signal. So that's what that was. That's to do with a internet upgrade to make things a little speedier here in the slow part of Salt Spring Island. Day in the life. Yeah. Palm trees or freezes in the winter. Layla. Northern Florida. Palm tree dude. Northern Florida, especially the panhandle, get some. Oh, yeah. Well, Martin, it's fine. You're a bit pixel like that, but it's all right. Okay, well, it's going to be better, hopefully, Martin. Northern Florida, I will tell you something, and I've said this before. Tallahassee, Florida, up in the northern panhandle, the all-time low in Tallahassee is colder than the all-time low here on Salt Spring Island. So low temperature here is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. In a certain area of Salt Spring, it's never been 5 degrees Fahrenheit here. But the coldest is 5, so minus 15 degrees Celsius, minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit in Tallahassee, Florida. So that is below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold enough to kill a few plants. Martin, just kidding. I know where to prank. You can call me if you want. It's a long distance call. It's a lot cheaper to.
She wants just one more.
Oh, one more question. Here we go. Here's the internet lady. Hello, Joe speaking.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
I just want to ask you, since Wendy is the one calling, do you want her to put as an authorization account? So every time she's gonna call, we can just
do it.
Validate the account from her.
Please do it. Put Wendy. Wendy's in charge. She's kind of the boss here. She tells me what to do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put her then. Thank you, Joe.
All right. Cheers to you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, Wendy is the boss in this family. I am henpecked and totally pussy whipped. All right. 100% Zach. Aloha. Oh, Tennessee Palms. I see a video you made of some ukes in Canada. Do they grow? Jacob Tyler. We have about 24 species of eucalyptus tree in our garden. The only place eucalyptus trees will grow in Canada is along the Pacific coast. Remember, provenance makes them hardy. So it's where the seed is collected. So if you go to Australia, let's just say you're going to visit Australia and you're going to walk along the beach at a lower elevation. You see a nice eucalyptus tree and you pick some seed up and you try to grow that in your Zone 8B garden. Well, good luck, because the first winter will probably die. You got to go up into the mountains. The higher you go in the mountains, the colder it gets. So if you go to the top of Kosciuszko, for example, and you see some snow gums growing up there, some Eucalyptus debusavilli, passiflora, you grab some seeds from those. They're going to be hardy in Zone 8B. Okay, so we grow a lot of eucalyptus trees on Salt Spring, and big ones too. Big ones you can't wrap your arms around. And they do self-seed here as well. They self-seed in our second-story gutters and in the garden. Nice. Your internet will be the best in Canada. Palm Tree Dude says that. Well, you know what? It might be the best in this location on our road on the north end of Salt Spring. I don't know what the best in Canada. Canada's a pretty big area. I wish it was the best in Canada. Eric Dons. Hi, someone stole my rhododendron. I don't even have a rhododendron. We have a lot of rhododendrons. I think Wendy just bought another rhododendron. Oh, hey, gotta grab the dog for a sec. Hang on. What are you scratching for? Sorry, dudes. He's scratching again. I just want you to say Kahu to say hi. What do you think of that? That's our pet Ewok. He's not really a dog. Does he kind of look like an Ewok with those big ears? A little bit, huh? Anyway, that's our dog Kahu. And he was scratching at the door. He wanted to say hi, Kahu. So Kahu's named after the smallest of 8 Hawaiian islands, as you know. And he actually does have his own like page on Facebook. It's called Cutest Puppy in the Universe. And he is going on. He's 7 years old now. So anyway, he's a good little guy. 8 pounds of terror right there. See you later, buddy. I'm back. GD Gardens, Martin. Bit. Joe, I sent you a transfer. Eric. Okay, cool. Well, hey, Eric. Ta-da, there's your seeds right there, buddy. See that? Hey, here. I won't show your address right there. Eric Thompson. So there's over 1,000 seeds in there, and I will mail them off tomorrow. I will be at the post office. You know, when you get into the post office here, it is single file, one person at a time, and often I bring letters with me to work. I have to mail like packages I ship off of seeds, and I drive by the post office, and they're lined up around the frickin' building, so I have to go after work to do it. It's a pain to get into that post office now with this pandemic. Uh, let's just see, Martin. Yeah, a bit. Nice dog. Thanks, Palm Tree Dude. Yeah, that's Wendy's pride and joy. He is. She got him as a little baby puppy, and he was born April 3rd, 2013. So he just turned 7 about a month ago. Anyway, Eric. Yeah. So let me know when the palms get there. There's instructions inside. There's my Banana Joe sticker on the back, and these are fresh seeds from only good Trachycarpus palms with nice stiff fronds. Okay, palms that have been there for more than 25 years, right? So they'll be good for you to grow there. You're going to have a palm, Eric's Palm Nursery in Ontario. I saw that picture you sent me, and all I have to do is say, Pika Kuba Palm Tree Dude. Right on. Jacob Tyler, I live in Queensland. Plenty of ukes. Never. Yeah, Jacob, there is a lot of eucalyptus trees here, but only on the Pacific coast of Canada. Okay. The rest of Canada is too cold to grow any eucalyptus trees or palm trees outside. Palm trees, people do grow them in the east, but you have to box them in and use heat with them. Okay. So here on the Pacific coast, the winters are mild enough where you can grow different species of palms and lots of exotic plants with no winter protection. So your job is maintaining gardens, right, Martin? Yes, I work for the Parks Department. I am a gardener and a maintenance guy for the Parks Department here on Salt Spring Island. I've been there for quite a long time. I've been there longer than anybody in this Parks Department, right? So it's a great job because I get to plant palm trees and I get to maintain all the gardens around town and the parks around the island. The only gardens around here that I maintain are in town. The rest of it are just like nature trails, beaches, lakes. We have 11 lakes here on Salt Spring Island, so we look after all the lakes and stuff. Do you grow gray gum? I'm not sure, Jacob Tyler, what gray gum is. You have to tell me the Latin name. I'll tell you what we grow. We grow Eucalyptus stellulata. We grow Eucalyptus neglecta. We grow Eucalyptus passiflora, Perniana, Gunnii divaricata, archrai. We grow Caibiensis. We grow Cordata. We grow Dallarium pleana. Let's just see. I'm just trying to think. There's so many different eucalyptus trees we grow here, and they all do really, really well in our garden. There's some really big ones. Matter of fact, we use them for firewood. I don't know if you can see over the house there in the distance. See under the umbrella there, those are eucalyptus trees towering over the 2-story house and the other part of the garden, which is quite a ways away from here. Hello, Jane. Aloha. My favorite person from Hawaii right there, Jane. I love Jane. That is one knowledgeable lady, and I would like to meet you one day. Weather follower, what would you say your top favorite palms of all time are? Top favorite palms of all time. Sable minor, Rapatophyllum hystrix, Trithrinax campestris, Bismarckia nobilis. Notice I'm not saying any feather palms, pinnate species, Jubea chilensis. Is that 5 right there? Butia is okay, but not my favorite. I would much rather have a Jubea chilensis, and I like Latania too. So there you go. Those would probably be my favorite palms. I'm going to add another one too, foxtail, Woodicia bifurcata. No, we don't grow that. Palm tree dude, Eucalyptus puncata. No, I've never heard of that one. You know what eucalyptus I really like is Eucalyptus deglupta rainbow gum, and it grows in abundance on Maui. And there's actually a grove of them on the way to Hana. And you can see my videos here of eucalyptus rainbow gums. They're absolutely beautiful, but very tropical. GD Gardens, those Trachycarpus I planted in the forest are starting to open up, maybe 5 years. Sweet, that is awesome. Way do you go, GD Gardens? Palm forest, you got to like. Living the dream, eh, Eric Thompson? It's a good place to be here on Salt Spring Island. I feel very safe, but this weekend I'm going to stick to our garden, and I'm going to mail your package of palms seeds. I have to go to the post office, but I want to avoid town. Apparently, there's a bunch of tourists that showed up, and they're not supposed to be here, but yet there's still tourists on Salt Spring long weekend. Sounds like a great job. Martin would love to plant gardens for living, but fortunately, I'm recovering from brain damage. Oh, well, you take care, buddy. You know what? It's a pretty good job I have. It is a government job. I work for the government, so I get a lot of holidays every year, which is the bonus because I like holidays. As much as I love my job, I do like holidays even more than my job. Tennessee, Jacob Tyler, that's a palm tree. Let's just see. Tennessee palms. Oh yeah, Jacob commented on my latest video, and we had a conversation about Sable Minor. I feel like you should explain why it's a it loves heat and they're very hardy. So the most cold hardy palm for the people that don't know much about palms, and most of you do, is Rhopidophyllum hystrix, needle palm. And the second most cold hardy palm is Sable Minor or bush palmetto or dwarf palmetto. And they are not actual palm trees. They're not arborescent. They're bush palms. So the most cold hardy arborescent palm tree would be Trachycarpus fortunei and probably tequil and some of the other Trachycarpus in the genus. And Jacob Taylor, we have rainbow eucalyptus here along the coastline. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. They also grow, I believe, in Indonesia and the Philippines as well. They're one of the most beautiful eucalyptus trees. And for those of you who have never seen a rainbow gum, I advise you Google them or watch one of my YouTube videos, search it out, rainbow gum, and you will probably see me or Wendy hugging a rainbow gum because they are beautiful. There's some nice ones in the Honolulu Zoo. Some beautiful rainbow gums in Honolulu Zoo. And my friend Jane in Honolulu probably knows that if you've been into the Honolulu Zoo. I have videos of those ones as well. What palms would you recommend for cooler climates? Weather follower. So, cooler climate, Sable Minor, Rhopidophyllum hystrix. But you know what? You have to have a lot of heat in the cooler climate. So if you're talking winter cooler climate with a lot of summer heat, needle palm and Sable Minor is good. If you have a cooler winter climate with a little bit cooler summers and springs, Trachycarpus fortunei, Chamaerops humilis. Chamaerops humilis and Trachycarpus fortunei are still a zone 8B palm in a northern region. Who else do we have in here? Thompson. They have a really nice one in Niagara Falls Botanical Garden. Eric. Oh, cool. In the greenhouse. Is that right? I'd like to see that. If you ever get a chance, take a picture of it and post it on the site. People who love palm trees. I'd love to see a rainbow gum growing in a greenhouse. That is kind of cool. I have some in our greenhouse I've grown from seed. Like I grow a lot from seed. So they're starting to come up in the seed flat right now. I planted a lot of archri in there and a mix, kind of a mixed bag. I think I put some Perineana and I put some Dellarium plant in there. You know, years ago when my oldest son was in grade 1, he's going to be 30. His next birthday is going to be 30. I planted a Eucalyptus Dellarium planta and a Stellulata, Black Sally, behind the elementary school. Well, the Dellarium planta got too big for its britches, so the maintenance guys, the school maintenance guys, cut it down. And it was upsetting, but that's life. But they left the Black Sally. I said, don't cut the Black Sally down. And Black Sally is less common here. There was a really big one in town they cut down last year. It was just an absolutely gorgeous tree. The guy didn't like it, so they cut it down. But the one at the elementary school looks beautiful, and I'll shoot another video of it soon. I do have videos of it here. So I grew that one from seed, and I planted it in 1990, I guess 96 or something like that. I've got a picture. Send it to you. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Thanks, Eric. I do not think rainbows are natural here, but people do plant them at the beach. Jacob Tyler. Yeah, they are a tropical. They are a tropical eucalyptus, and they're a beautiful BLE, broadleaf evergreen. Do you know one of the tallest broadleaf, tallest trees in the world is a Eucalyptus reginens, alpine ash? It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. They measured it after they cut it down, unfortunately. Do you have any horse chestnut trees? Oh, God, yeah. Oh, tons of them. Tons of them. I just posted a bunch of pictures yesterday, weather follower, on my Facebook page. Massive ones right where I work. Working at the park yesterday, and there's big ones all over the place. They're in full bloom right now, and we have one in our garden. And you know, I was weed eating this park yesterday, and there's baby horse chestnuts growing everywhere. Little ones. I weed whacked a few by mistake. I felt kind of bad because I do like horse chestnuts, but they do take up a lot of room. Okay, so what else do we have in here? We got a lot. I should shoot a video. Yes, Jacob, you should shoot a video. Weather follower, we also have American chestnut here, which is really rare. And where I work in one of the parks, there is one that was planted about 100 years ago or so, and it is absolutely a massive, massive tree. So that's American chestnut. That's the one that produces edible chestnuts. And horse chestnuts you cannot eat, but you can certainly throw them at each other. And they're a pretty cool tree, and they do look nice when they're in bloom. And I do actually have videos of them here. I have videos of pretty much everything on this channel because there's over 13,000 videos on this channel. And my other channel that's connected to this channel, I think probably has about 4,000, at least 4,000 videos, or maybe 4,000 videos on it as well. So it's kind of combined. When I hit this channel, my other channel shows up as well. I'm addicted to making videos, mostly plant videos though, because I like plants. So what do you think of those Trachycarpus palms behind me? They're actually looking pretty good. That's a female up there, and it's got flower pods on it right now. Jacob Tyler, I'm normally busy, but if I have time, I will. Today, I'm not busy for a little now. So you're in Australia. You're about 18 or 19 hours ahead of us. So in Australia right now, it is Saturday. It's sometime Saturday. It is Friday here. So 2 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, we're the same time zone as Los Angeles. Okay, so whatever time it is in Los Angeles or Seattle, we're the same time zone. Palm tree dude, I want to try to grow more eucalyptus from seed. Watch my videos. I do have videos on how to grow them from seed. I've grown most of ours from seed, and they are very, very easy to grow. Not a problem. Jane, I wonder if ohelo berries can grow in your climate. Now, that's one I have never heard of. Is it a yummy berry? Can we eat those berries? I will look it up. I tell you what we do have in our yard. We have a Guatemalan cherry. It's an evergreen cherry tree, and I think it has flowers on it right now. I'll go check that out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure there's some flowers on it. Let's see. Yeah, Chilo berries. I've never heard of that one. Weather follower. I put 7 conkers in a pot. They all grew 100%. What do I do with them? Plant them in your garden, or put. You know what? Our chestnut is in a pot because I really don't have anywhere in our garden I want to plant it because it's going to get too big and cast too much shade and shade out some of our special exotic plants. So, and that's the problem with Albizia julibrizin, the mimosa. You plant those things, they grow way too big. I don't have, like, we have a big piece of property here, but I always think about shade on our other exotic plants. So I put them off to one side of the garden, and thank God they're growing slow and crappy soil. Ohelo, Jane is saying, is related to blueberry in the same genus. Is that right? Wow, we have honeyberry and we grow blueberries here in our garden. That's very interesting. I'll have to look that one up, Jane. Thanks a lot for that info. I've never heard of it before. It'd be interesting to see if it's hardy enough here. Paul, I live in Alberta, Canada, and it's 7:05. Yes, Alberta is 1 hour ahead of us. Alaska is 1 hour behind us, and Hawaii is 3 hours behind us. And that's why I love Hawaii so much. You know, it takes us a little over 5 hours to fly there from here. And when I get there, I click the clock back 3 hours, and I'm in Hawaiian time. You have to love the Hawaiian Islands, man. They have their own time zone. And I think if you go a little bit farther out to Johnston Island and Midway, it's probably another hour behind Hawaii, at least. See ya, Tennessee Palms. Is Tennessee Palms later? All, hey, see ya, Zach. I didn't see that. I see that now. Okay, take care, buddy, and stay tuned for another live stream Palmcast. That's what my buddy Scotty said in Tawas, south of Vancouver. Instead of a, I don't know what they call these. It's a Palmcast. I'm calling this one right here. Anyway, so live streaming is a lot of fun, and you guys should try it sometime. Ohelo is native to high elevation Hawaii where it gets cold. So maybe, yeah. But what is cold in Hawaii? That's the thing. -1 or 0 or 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, when I'm in Hawaii and Maui, the Hawaiians are putting on sweatshirts when it gets down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm walking around in a tank top, and they know I'm from Canada. I'm acclimatized. Like, right now, you guys in the deep south might be freezing here right now, but I feel so comfortable. It's not cold, and it's about 16.8 degrees. Maybe it's 17. It feels actually a little bit warmer than when I started. So it's quite nice out here. Weather follower, I'll keep the chestnut trees in a pot and sell the others. Right? Sweet. Yeah, do that. Somebody will buy them. Jacob Taylor, a nice day in the future. 22 degrees is beautiful. That is a very nice. Traveler's palms, Eric Thompson. No, I've never grown traveler's palms, and they won't grow here, unfortunately. They're too tropical. There's a lot of them in Hawaii, though. Paul C. will take care. And means in Australia, you could say, welcome to Australia. Local time is tomorrow. Funny. Yeah, you got to love that. Down under. Jane Tang, there are multiple species in Hawaii. Ohelo. Wow. I'll have to Google that one then. So when I'm finished this live stream, I'm going to Google that. So there's a lot of cool plants where you live in Hawaii. Yeah, I know. With my own eyes, I've seen them, especially when I'm walking up to Lion Arboretum. I'm oogling at all the yards there. There's just like so many beautiful gardens. And there's one nice garden on the way with a tree full of star fruit. And I love star fruit. There's one that grows near our condo in Maui. And every year when I'm there, I pick the star fruit. I just love those things. Palm tree dude, I can tolerate 68 Fahrenheit sun. Hotter personally or lower, I'm in this long sleeves. Yeah, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. See, when I'm working, I really don't like it any warmer than about 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, 18 degrees Celsius, 18 to 20. Anything warmer than that, I actually can't stand it. And even the guys I work with, they don't like it. Like today was just beautiful. It's nice. The humidity is not high, and you don't sweat out here. Ohio can be found in Haleakala. Ah, okay, so there is a chance if it can found at the top of Haleakala. Haleakala is over 10,000 foot, and you can see my videos of us standing up at Haleakala getting blown away on the island of Maui in cold weather on the top of that volcano. And I was wearing my shorts and flip-flops, and I said to myself, why on the top of this volcano getting blown away in Maui when I should be on the beach? So that's the last time I go up there. The only thing I saw growing up there were silver swords. It's a really weird plant that grows up on top of Haleakala. Weather follow, if you had the opportunity to move anywhere else in Canada, where would you go? Tofino. I'd be on the west coast of Vancouver Island. So I can only go west. I can only go west. I can never move east. And that's what I told my last wife. And my new wife knows that as well. I can never move east. I can only move west. I like Savory Island too, which is about 120 miles north of here. I could probably live up there and on the Sunshine Coast too, because it is a balmy, palmy zone 9A up there as well. I find it funny how the end of the winter in the 60s feels really good, but then at the end of summer in the 60s feels chilly. Yeah, well, your summers are so hot, and our summers are just like I say, about 75 degrees through the summertime. You're going to get some 80-degree days here too. At this end of the island, not a whole lot of them, but we do get some because we're close to the ocean, and it's more regulated by the ocean temperatures. But if you get down to inland areas of our island, there's lots of 80-degree and 90-degree days. There are lots of 30 plus Celsius days where they grow the olives, and that's why they harvest olives here and make olive oil on the south end of our island. They harvest the olives in the winter here, and they pick them all by hand. There are thousands of trees. I drove by there yesterday, and it's just, I wish I could stop. I was in my Parks truck pulling a trailer with a tractor on it, but the trees are absolutely beautiful. They're manicured. He's got them all shaped. They're the rows are all mowed, and then he's got more down in the lower fields. There's another probably 1,000 or so olive trees in the lower fields. What is your favorite part of your garden? Well, Martin, the garden here is very big. Okay, you're only seeing small parts of it. When you see this behind me, this is a very tiny portion of our garden. Our garden stretches about 330 feet along the front, and the back it stretches probably about maybe 250 feet. It's really, really big. And I would say the upper garden here is my favorite part of the garden because it is the mildest part of the garden. And we grow some of the most exotic plants up here where the eucalyptus trees are, the sable minors, the needle palms, the cordyline, and everything up here really does thrive. And on the lower slope, there's some pretty cool stuff too. But I only started that garden about 8 years ago. It was actually a forest of trees, and I got busy with my Husqvarna chainsaw, and I nuked them, and I planted a palm garden down there, an exotic plant garden. It's starting to look like a real jungle. That's where we grow the bananas. So I'd say this upper garden up here is one of my favorite spots in the garden. Palm tree we got in 86 today and 74 now. That is pretty toasty. Jane Tang silver sword and its relatives could grow in. Really? You think so? Since experienced frost. And so, you know what? I don't know if I could ever get silver sword seeds. Maybe they sell them on eBay. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a silver sword. They're the most amazing looking plant, really exotic plant that grows native on the top of the mountains on Maui. I don't know if they grow on the Big Island, but they grow on Haleakala, and they are just a really cool looking silver type plant. And I do have videos of them here. And if you don't see them in my videos, you can Google a picture of silver sword, and maybe I'll have to try one in our garden. Bad connection. The minute I start typing, the connection comes back. Ah, there we go. Anyway, I'll have to look up the hardiness on silver sword, Jane. That is really interesting. So we grow dickia, we grow agaves, we grow lots of different cactus, and I presume a silver sword would like dry conditions. Palm tree dude, how many palms are native to Hawaii? It's only is it the only Pritchard? I think it's only Pritchardia that's native. The lulau palm or lolau. It's a weird name, but I think there's only Pritchardia, right, Jane? Is that the only species native to the Hawaiian Islands? Everything else has been introduced. Even plumeria has been introduced along with the people. Many of the people have also been introduced, just like Salt Spring Island. The people have been introduced, and a lot of the plants have been introduced, and probably just like where you guys live too. We're exotic as well. We're all exotic. We came from somewhere else. If you look at your mom and dad or their ancestors, they probably came from somewhere else. The only native people here are the First Nations, the Indians that live here. How many? Let's just see. What else do we have here? We got to 86. That's pretty toasty. And I've answered that one. Where would I move? Yeah, if you don't know about Tofino, guys, it's on the west coast of Vancouver Island. It is also Zone 9, but it's a higher end of Zone 9 than here on Salt Spring Island, and that's the tree of choice in the town of Tofino and other parts of the west coast of Vancouver Island are cordyline trees. And when you get to Tofino, the first thing you start to see are big cordyline trees. I'm talking really big cordyline trees that are 30 feet tall and growing on the sides of the road and growing in front of the surf shops. There's a lot of surf shops there with cordyline trees. Bratichardia and possibly coconut are native to Hawaii. Yeah, I always thought coconut were actually brought with the Polynesians that came from Tahiti or wherever back, 1,500 years ago or something. But who knows? I mean, I guess they've been there that long. I guess maybe they're native now, right? And I still want to see Trachycarpus fortunei growing somewhere on the Hawaiian Islands. And I really want to bring some seeds in with me, but I'm afraid they'll get taken away at the airport, just like my last batch of seeds. They made me empty my pockets out and they took all my seeds away from me on Maui at Kahului Airport. I was pretty upset about that. I had my shorts pockets filled with seeds. Wendy and I spent a ton of time stripping the outer coating off of them. She collected me some Wadishia bifurcata. We had washi seeds. We had Livistona seeds. We had Pritchardia. We had a whole bunch of different seeds and had Phoenix robelinii. And I went through the full body scanner. I guess I looked like a bit of a punk. And the guy says, you go into the full body scanner. I put my hands up there and he says, step out here. He says, empty your pockets. He put a bowl out. I emptied all the palm seeds and he took them all away from me. And that was a real bummer. So best to mail them back and not put them in your pockets. Let's just see. Pandanus, screw pine. No, we could never grow that here. They could never grow that on the west coast of Vancouver Island either. The winters are wet there. I'll tell you what grows on the west coast of Vancouver Island. I've seen Phoenix canariensis. Butea is no problem whatsoever. There's Jubea, tree ferns, lots of trackies. There's some old trackies. The oldest trachea I've seen there was planted in 1948. Massive Phormium tenax. Phormium tenax there grows king size, like it's on steroids, and lots of Gunnera manicata. So yeah, not mild enough to grow pandanus. Palm tree dude. Oh yeah, I've heard people claim coconuts are native. If a coconut floats, yeah, you know what? People have found coconuts washed up on our beach here on Salt Spring Island. So where do you think those have floated in from? One lady found a tiki on the beach here that floated in from somewhere. I don't know where it floated in from, but she found a carved tiki on one of our beaches here quite a few years ago. She showed it to me. It was pretty cool. You could put it in your luggage. Yeah, maybe I should. But the problem is, Jane, I only bring a carry-on when I go to Maui. See, when you go to Maui, you don't need to wear a lot of clothes, okay? So I'm wearing less clothes on Maui than I am now. And I bring a carry-on about this big, just a little Harley Davidson carry-on and some board shorts and a few other things, and that's about it. So you know what I could do? I could probably mail. No, I couldn't. I could put them in Wendy's luggage. That's what I could do. Jane, you're smart. I could put the palm seeds in Wendy's luggage, and I think that's what I'll do. And then I'll plant them at our condo and see if they will work. That'll be a good experiment. Planting some Trachycarpus seeds at the condo on Maui, and maybe take some up to Haleakala and plant some up there too. Nice to see you doing the getting got to run. Okay, Eric. And we're going to mail your seeds tomorrow. There's your 1,000+ Trachycarpus seeds from Salt Spring Island. And let me know when they arrive. And they're nice and fresh. And you can put them in a big bag and do the bagging method. You probably need several baggies. Or you could just put them in a seed flat. But there are instructions in there. I got printouts I put in there. Jane, That's how I smuggle Livistona chinensis from Hong Kong to Honolulu. Oh, you sneaky girl, Jane. You sneaky girl. That is awesome. I like that. Well, I tell you what, one time when I was in Honolulu, I collected a whole bunch of Bismarckia nobilis seeds at Fort Tarusi and a whole bunch of other seeds. And I mailed them back. I went to the post office in Waikiki and I mailed them back. And when I got back to Salt Spring Island, I opened up the mailbox and they were already in there waiting for me. You got to like that. So you know what? When I'm in Maui in November, if I make it to Maui, if this pandemic thing is running its second wave, I probably won't go. If I do, I will get some seeds. I'll try to bring some seeds there, and I'll bring some seeds back. New Jersey palms, 86 today here in New Jersey, toasty and probably muggy too. I bet. Palm tree dude, I bought some sea grape seeds from Florida, Virginia, but it's domestic. So yeah, in Canada I can do that. I can bring seeds anywhere in Canada, but bringing them to the States is a little trickier. But on my person. But you know what? I mail seeds to every state. But now Florida is not letting me mail Trachycarpus seeds there because the last ones I tried to mail there got confiscated, and that happened more than once. So no more seeds and palm seedlings going to Florida. And I don't know anybody wants to grow Trachycarpus in Florida anyway. Maybe northern Florida. But I've shipped a lot of seeds to Florida, believe it or not. Trachycarpus palm seeds from Salt Spring growing in Florida. It's kind of cool to see what they look like now. I plant razorback seeds from Arkansas here, and there's some really nice ones growing in front of the swimming pool in town. I've got a lot of seeds from Buddy Austin down in Arkansas. Over the years, we've traded a lot, and I've grown a lot of 7B, 8A Arkansas palms. It's 88 here now in Honolulu. Jane, I'm so envious of you. See, when I'm not working, it can be as hot as it wants. When I'm working, I don't want 88, but when I'm in Hawaii, I want toasty temperatures because you know what I do in Hawaii? I hang out at the beach a lot. And I go to the beach for about 4 hours every day. And then the rest of the day, we just kind of drive around and check stuff out. Florida has lots of pest problems. Probably why things naturalize. Yeah. You know, that's the one thing I like about Hawaii. I don't get bothered by pests. There's no dangerous things. There's no dangerous snakes. I don't know of any dangerous spiders. There's the Chinese centipede that can be dangerous and give you a good sting. I don't think mongoose are too dangerous. I probably wouldn't want to touch one. But and there's no mosquitoes that bother me when I'm in Hawaii. If you go to the wet tropical areas, certain times of the year, there could probably be a few mosquitoes. But where we stay, I've never been bothered by any pests. I've never been sick. I drink the water out of the tap. It is the perfect, to me, Hawaii has the perfect climate. When the trades blow off the Central Pacific, you got the trade winds blowing, you got that natural AC fanning you on those hot days. It is absolutely spectacular. And if I didn't live here and I could live in the tropics, I would definitely be in Hawaii. It is really nice. Unfortunately, it's a very expensive place to live. Just like Salt Spring Island, this is a very expensive place to live when you're paying about $5.60 for a gallon of gas. And that's the cheap gas. So the price you pay to live in paradise, I guess, but it's worth it. You know, I could maybe live in Saskatchewan, but the winters I wouldn't be very happy and I wouldn't be able to grow what I want. So that's why I live here. Palm tree dude, I wish there were no mosquitoes. Yeah, we don't have a lot of mosquitoes here. I can sit out here on a summer night and you won't get bothered. It's quite nice. And that's what my daughter-in-law, she's not my daughter-in-law anymore. My son married a girl from Texas. He went to Texas, my oldest son, married a beautiful girl from southern Texas. She was born and raised there, never been out of the state of Texas. He went through an immigration lawyer, and long story short, she moved to Salt Spring. She immigrated to Salt Spring in January 2012. And she lived here for quite a few years. Then they moved to Victoria. But I remember one time we were sitting on the deck. So Weslaco, if you don't know where Weslaco is, it's west of Brownsville, Texas. Very hot and humid. And she says you cannot sit out there on a summer night. It is just so hot and humid. It is so uncomfortable. And she just couldn't believe. She says it was so nice sitting out here having a barbecue and enjoying the dinner. And it was about a 70-degree night. And look at my beautiful wife. Who made this?
Me.
Krista helped too.
Well, Chris has a different kind. Those are the ones I did. But
these are like little pizzas, and they look pretty healthy. You know what? I'm going to have to go soon and eat these pizzas. Damn. See, I'm cut short by tiny pizzas. Wendy's getting sick of listening to me because the door's open to the kitchen, right? So I'm going to put those in my pie hole, and I may have to go real soon. So many names for the UK. It's crazy. Well, we call this place the Rock, and I know they call Alcatraz a rock, but when you live on Salt Spring Island, they call this a rock because it's a very rocky place, although there are very large areas of fertile land in the valleys as well. Uh, let's see, what else do we have here before I go? Weatherfall, when was the last time you came to Great Britain or the United Kingdom? I've never been to Europe in my life, ever, but I know a lot about Europe. My daughter lived in Europe for 3.5 to 4 years. First, she lived in Taunton in Somerset, and then because she married a Brit, he was in the British military, and then they moved to South Cornwall. And my daughter would always send me pictures of all the palms growing in South Cornwall, and even in Taunton, there's lots of palm trees as well. Bon appetit. Thank you, Martin. Weather follower. Yeah, I've never been. Wendy's been to Ireland, France, and Scotland. And with her last dude she was with, the last guy she was married to. So me, unfortunately, no. I have relatives that live in southern Italy. I'm Italian, and they live in Reggio Calabria at the toe of the boot across from Sicily. They're right on the beach looking at Sicily. So I do have people to visit there if I ever go, but I have to stop going to Hawaii first, and I really love going to Hawaii. One of these days I will make it to Europe. And if I do, I'm definitely going to go to the UK. I want to go to Cornwall. I'd like to see the Scilly Isles. And I'd love to go to Ireland and Scotland to see the botanical gardens and all those palmy things that grow there. All right, folks, I tell you what, I am going to go because I have to eat this pizza. And if I don't eat this pizza now, it's going to be cold pizza. So you know what? Thanks again for joining me on this live stream Palmcast from our island here, Salt Spring Island in the North Pacific. I'm glad you people know where Salt Spring Island is now. I'm sure most of you people probably never even heard of Salt Spring Island, and that's the joy about the internet. You can find out things about the world that you've never known before, and you can't really just see them spinning around an atlas or a globe. But the internet, you can learn a lot about different places, a lot about plants, and you can meet some really nice people. So, folks, with that, I will say cheers and aloha to all of you. Thanks for joining in. And Jane out there in Hawaii, come in anytime. Nice to see you in there as well. Weather follower, Zach in Tennessee, Martin in the Netherlands, Palm Tree Dude, and everybody else in there that joined in. Stay tuned for another live stream Palmcast real soon. Who knows? Maybe this weekend, if we get some sun, I'll be out here doing another one. And maybe I'll set it up on the front deck where there's different stuff to look at, some eucalyptus trees. Bye-bye. See you next stream. Okay, Palm Tree Dude, weather follower. Take care. Martin, stay safe out there, and happy palm growing, and have a great weekend. It's a long weekend here, so I'm going to stay safe and hang out in the garden. All right, see you later, weather follower, and everybody else. Cheers and aloha from Salt Spring Island.